welcome back to this glorious English sunny day. Anyway, it was a short break in the rain, so back on the van project. A couple of essentials I need to show you. AdBlue first of all. So AdBlue is used to reduce the naughty, the noxious, the unpleasant exhaust gases, or the exhaust gases that come out of the vehicle that damage the environment. AdBlue is effectively a mix of deionized water and urea that mixes into the exhaust system of the vehicle, which in turn gets rid of a lot of the nasty gases and emissions that are coming out of the exhaust and that kind of stuff. What you've got to do every so often, just where your filler cap is in here, you've got to fill up the blue cap with AdBlue. It looks like it's just about to start raining again. Fantastic. You can buy little bottles of AdBlue and it's sort of expensive to do it that way, so I've bought myself a big bottle. Some people say you can pee in there, and apparently that fixes it. The computer in your car has a sensor that looks at the emissions at the front of the exhaust and then looks at the emissions after they've passed through the AdBlue section of the exhaust to see if the AdBlue is actually having the right effect. If the AdBlue isn't working, the computer will stop your car from running. Effectively, once you've turned off your car, it won't let you restart your car. If you don't continue to fill up with AdBlue, the computer will recognize that your AdBlue tank is empty. It has a little ultrasonic sensor in there that fires little sort of ultrasonic pulses up towards the top of the tank, and it can see the level of the AdBlue solution by the reflections that are coming back down onto the sensor after it's fired its little pulse. It's a bit like a reversing sensor in the sense that as you get closer and closer to a wall, it knows where the wall is. This is quite interesting. There has to be a little gap at the top of the tank for this sensor to work properly. So I was talking to one of the VW engineers and he was telling me that a common problem is that people top off their AdBlue tank, so they keep filling it up, squeezing the last little bit in there, and all of a sudden you've got so much AdBlue in there, hello seagull, and all of a sudden you've got so much AdBlue in there, there's no gap, and the computer can't detect that gap. So effectively, again, it thinks that you've got an empty AdBlue tank, and it stops you from restarting the engine. So don't top off your AdBlue tank is the message here. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the AdBlue tank. AdBlue, what a pain. Light bulbs. The light bulbs in this thing. Someone described it in the T6 forums as like someone had put tea lights, little tea candles, you know, in the headlights. For a modern van 2018, you'd expect to see some pretty good lights in there. No, the lamps in there are pretty awful, if I'm completely honest with you. So in fact, when I've been driving down the motorway, I've seen lighting from the vehicle behind me project underneath the car in front of me, and it's like, what? So fung. We have got some high power Phillips Racing Performance headlights. These are the H4s, got them on Amazon, and also got myself a bit of an upgraded set of LED day running lights. So we're going to go ahead and put all of these in, and we'll have a little look, and we'll see what everything, how everything compares and what it looks like. Right then, next part of the mission, let's change out a couple of these light bulbs. We'll do one side at a time so that we can compare the difference. While we're in here, we might as well just check the fluid levels and various other stuff as well. Okay, so fluid levels look good. So let's go ahead and see if we can gain access to one of these main light bulbs. So there's a little spring clip here, and that little spring clip there releases this plastic cover. So I'll just put that to one side, and then in theory should be able to reach in here. Now we've managed to pull a connector off, and then let's just have a feel around in here for the headlight itself. Now it looks like there's another spring clip It's always difficult when you can't see what you're doing, should I say. Right, so yep, there's another little spring clip in there, and then with a bit of luck I should be able to pull out this this tea light. There it is, this little tea light candle. You don't want to touch the headlight itself, especially if you've got mucky fingers, but anyway, grease from your skin and stuff like that can also cause problems with these headlights. So we'll make sure that we put that in a safe place in a little while, and let's just see if we can pop out one of these Phillips RacingVision headlights. A little bit of persuasion required there. Orientation with the middle tab at the top here. So let's see if we can slide that in place, feel it in, and there she is. Now time to get that spring clip back in. Actually, the spring clip was quite easy to get back in. Headlights in. Let's see if we can't get that connector on the back of here as well. Boom. Right, excellent. So that's all put in place. Let's get the cover back on. It's a little bit of a faff doing this. And that's the seal in place. Okay, we've changed one light bulb. Now, let's also change out one of these LEDs. So there's a little rubber cover that comes off. So you rotate the LED, and then what we can do is push fit the bayonet LED. And then in my back pocket here, ta-da! Some different LEDs. Again, I'm going to try not to touch the active part of the LED. So a point of interest, these LEDs that I bought here, I think they have some kind of pulse width modulation circuit inside it to regulate the output brightness, because the radio doesn't work very well when these LEDs are running. So I'm hoping that these LEDs have a different system. Perhaps they have a passive resistor instead of a pulse width modulator, which that pulse width modulator literally just stopped the radios from working. All right, okay, that's in. Right, let's have a look, see what it looks like. All right, new, old, new, old. So hope you can see the difference. There's a little bit of a heat sink going on here, and also inside there's a bunch of aluminium that I can only assume is operating as a heat sink and structural support, whereas this guy's just got a few LEDs at the top and the bottom, and some reflective mirrors, and then 4 LEDs at the top. These guys, well, clearly this has got a bit of blue tinge to it. Not sure what that's all about. It's actually a smaller bulb, but I'd say it's definitely brighter and gives off a nicer light than this guy here, which was the original bulb which came in the pack. So if we have a quick look here, the original bulb was indeed a Phillips H4 12 volt. This one here is also rated 12 volt 55 watts and is clearly a Phillips H4 as well. This is the cover here for the driver's side main light, and there's an airbox in there that makes that a really tight fit. So trying to get your hand in between here and here and remove that light, pull all of the covers off, that's actually quite hard going, and you sort of skin your knuckles a couple of times when you're doing that one. This one over here by the battery, which is the passenger side light, has got, as you can see there, quite a lot more room. So not that much more room, but quite a bit more room to play around. And there it is, 2018 VW T6 highline model with air conditioning, converted into a camper van, just in case you guys didn't know. bit messy inside at the moment, but we're loving this thing, absolutely loving it. There's a pop top roof just here, got a fridge down here, little heater, a rib bed. This all folds into this seat here folds into a bed. Plenty of good storage space. Second bedroom upstairs. Absolutely digging this thing at the moment, loving it to pieces. Right, look at the difference. So if you can see in there, sorry, the engine's running, that's why it's a bit noisy. You can see this little guy here, which is just like a little day running bulb. And then you can see this really bright white light. Let's have a look at the other guy. Yeah. Orangey day running bulb and an orangey light. So the proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating, as they say. I guess we're going to have to wait until it gets dark, take it for a spin and see how it does. Okay, so right now these are the day running lights, side lights I suppose. Maybe these are the side lights here actually. I'd like to replace those bulbs at some point. Perhaps put something a little bit more LED-ish in place as opposed to that amber incandescence. But the day running lights look really nice now. And I'll switch the headlights on and you can see the difference. Yeah, you can certainly feel the difference. There's quite a bit of heat coming off of those now. So the beam is focused at the moment. It's focused down here away from the camera, otherwise it'll just blind the camera. But ultimately, that's looking really quite positive. So keeping my fingers crossed that we have a much better driving experience in the winter at night in England with these light bulbs. So now we've got some spare bulbs. We've got the original headlight bulbs in here and the LEDs there. So we're going to go ahead, pop those in the van so that in case something happens, we've got the ability to change out a headlight bulb or whatever bulb might have failed. Righto peeps, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care, have a wonderful week and weekend. Black Hand Gang. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Give us a good old thumbs up. Maybe pop a little comment in down below. Perhaps there's something you want to see or some questions that you might have about this particular mad build that's going on. Cheers, bye for now. Just can't get